Hey everybody, so we're going to try a different video this week. I'm going to try and do the lesson and lecture as I go through the motions. So last week we looked at a bunch of different ways of getting our feet set, getting both feet under our hips so that we can get up into a smooth, rhythmic, comfortable jump shot. So that over the next couple Fridays, we're going to choose a few of those footwork techniques. We're going to break it down, and then we're going to look at drills that I use with athletes to build those skills up. So today we're going to look at 3 different types of foot replacements. We're going to look at side steps and a couple other quick ones, and then like I said, we'll choose some more for next week. So check out forward foot replacements to start. All right, so our first look here is a forward foot replacement. A few of the moves you're going to see happening here, really, they're going to be out of a traditional 1-2 step, but we're going to actually be a little bit more precise with our terminology. So check out the results here. The forward foot replacement, or 1-2, it's simulating like we're into that lunge step. We've been attacking, and your front foot is in shooting position, but the back leg is not. So it needs to be replaced under my hip before I can lift up into my shot. So a couple of the pointers that we want to have here is, as I foot replace, the most common error, watch my hip height, is the hips come up. Now I lose my power and rhythm. What we want is, as we drive that foot forward, the hips stay low, and I drive the foot forward, I am low. As soon as I get there, I can now begin to lift. So we'll shoot a couple reps. Foot replace, I lift, up and out. All right, so to work on the forward foot replacement, we get the athletes to get into a low lunge position. So I like to work on rim line so that we can see our misses if they're right or left. So we start shoulder width apart, and we take our right leg, our dominant, our shooting leg, we're gonna place it back. So I'm shoulder width apart, but I'm in a deep lunge. The further the lunge, the lower I can get my hips and simulate a game situation stride. From here, I like to get the chin up and eyes on the rim. And just like we've done in our previous shooting videos, either your index or middle finger on the needle hole, we're engaging the wrist and it's in the pocket position. So big lunge, I see my target, I'm needle holding the ball. One good pound dribble, a snap, and it's gonna float right in that hip. As soon as that ball snaps off the ground, I'm gonna foot replace right to it, and it's up. So to work on both feet coming forward, we now need to work on the opposite leg forward. So now I'm in that same lunge position. I've started shoulder width. I step straight back with my left leg. I'm gonna go left-hand dribble. So I'm a right-handed shooter. What I need to work on is getting that ball into my shooting hand and not reaching across my frame. We've talked about this in previous videos. So you can refresh with the rhythm shooting warm-ups where we kind of try to eliminate that. So we're in lunge, my chin is up. As I'm stepping forward, I'm planting that ball into my shooting hand. Okay, so my shooting hand's already waiting to receive it. I plant, I'm up, and I'm out. So we break the foot replacements down into the basic movement where we've already been in the lunge and we're just stepping with that forward foot replacement. All right, once we're comfortable with that technique, we can add more motion coming in. So we would start with a cone or a rock or a sneaker just as a marker. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna self-toss the ball out. So we put our hands on the sides of the ball, I spin it, and I'm gonna cross step into it. So as I spin, I cross step. I'm now into that same lunge position we've just drilled, but I'm no longer square to the rim. So on my foot replacement, I'm going to square up. So I'm now need to add some motion into that foot replacement, then I'm up and out. So we'll check a couple reps of that. We start low already. My hips will maintain that height until the ball is already on its way up. So self-toss, 1 foot replace, up and out. So we can do the same the other way. So we're working both feet. So I'm self-tossing. It's gonna create that 1-2 step where I need to chase after it, and I use a front foot replacement. Self-toss, 1-2. So the front foot replacement is a great option when we have room to operate. Sometimes that defender is a lot closer to us, and it might actually be more beneficial where we step back away from that defender. So that is a 1 foot replacement, but we're gonna do it backwards. So out of that lunge situation, instead of the front foot being the shooting foot, that is actually the foot that is in shooting position. So what I need to do is I need to replace this foot backwards and maintain this position. So as I come back, my butt needs to stay down and out. As soon as that taps, I'm starting my shooting stroke, okay? And I'm gonna create a little extra separation by stepping back. So we can drill that the same way we did with the front one, break it down to the bare movement, the toe tap, and we're up. And we can do that with both feet. So I've switched, my left foot's now forward. It's almost like I just went punch at the defender, which we're gonna actually show you shortly. I step back, I'm up, just like we did with the first one. We broke it down to the base, step back, that back foot replacement. What we're gonna do now is let's add some motion to get into that. So I like to address this as we're playing out of a punch step. So both of my ball foot and ball hand are gonna aggressively punch towards that defender, causing them to react. If that defender heel locks or steps back, we're gonna lift into our shot. So check it out. So we've covered the front foot replacement where we're coming forward, we're gonna step into our space. We've worked on the back foot replacement. We're stepping away to create space. And we have a very athletic move where we're actually gonna stay right on the spot and both feet are gonna come under our hips simultaneously. Call this a 2 foot replacement. You can also call it a hop into the shot. So the situation is, we're in that lunge position, neither foot are in shooting positions, but my hips and torso are. So instead of stepping forward or back, my feet are gonna come to me, boom. And from there, I can lift. So first thing we do, break it down with no motion. We're in that lunge position, okay? Shooting hand, if you wanna add the dribble to make it comfortable, totally cool. But both feet are gonna slightly lift. So both feet are gonna quickly come under my hips and I'm up and down. All right, so instead of always playing off of one main foot, we wanna be able to do both. So let's switch it up. Left foot forward, both feet are setting under our hips at the same time. Comfortable rhythm dribble, set it, up and down. So just like we did in the breakdown, we had both feet forward and then we're setting under our hips. So we're gonna practice that, both those methods with motion. We're gonna use 2 familiar steps we've already done. So the first one we're gonna play out of is that punch step, where I'm gonna come aggressively at that defender, I'm gonna punch hard, both feet set, and then I'm lifting. So my chest is stopping. That's where I stop on that punch. Feet set, and then we're up into it. So it's punch, set, up. Playing with this outside footwork where we're aggressively trying to punch, and then we're setting, okay? So I'm gonna come at the defender, punch, I set those feet, I'm up and out. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go to that cross step, which creates the inside step. So I'm gonna go cross step and set my feet. As I'm setting, notice on that cross step, I'm not square. So as I'm lifting and setting, I'm also turning my hips, shoulders, and chin to the rim. So I can use this as a square up move as well. So cross step, square up, have your shot. Okay, so again, we're gonna try and catch this guard or this defender with a cross step. All right, they're gonna come off. They're gonna try and respect my speed. Don't make a joke. And from there, I'm gonna lift and set. So it's cross step, square and set, and I'm looking for a jumper. Cross step, square it, have it. All right, so we just covered the foot replacement forward, foot replacement backward, and 2-foot replacement on a dime. We're now gonna look at getting sideways or lateral. So what we're imagining here, instead of having that defender in front of us or on our hip, they're gonna be really stuck to our hip or maybe even here on the back. I'm gonna get away from them to the side, staying square, staying low, having my head up, and then maintaining that balance so I can get into a good shot when I do create that separation. So first, we rep it stationary. So we're gonna set in a low triple threat position, balls in the pocket, just on my shooting side. So from here, I'm gonna explode off of this foot. I'm gonna reach with this foot, with the ball side foot. And I'm just gonna go straight to the side. Like we did last time, we don't want the head and hips to do this. Go up and back down. We wanna maintain that lowness and we're literally gliding to that new spot so that we're ready to pop. So I see my target, I know where I wanna get, I'm gonna explode and reach. I'm landing outside inside. I'm gonna get the ball moving out with me to help me get further in that direction. We're gonna go lateral hop away. I'm now jumping off of my right foot, imagining the defender's here. All right? This foot is gonna be reaching away. I'm landing outside inside. My goal is to create maximum separation to the side. For me to do that, I'm gonna use the ball and elbow. I'm gonna rip it to help me get there. Even though I'm gonna be ripping, I need to make sure I'm square when I'm landing. So that's the basic movement with no motion coming into it. It's not very realistic and it's a tough shot to hit when you don't have that forward momentum to translate to get out wide. So we're gonna add a little bit of movement so it's gonna be more game-like. So we're gonna go back to the old familiar position of the lunge. We're in shooting position. We're gonna do 2 movements here. The first one is I'm going to get to here, all right? We're gonna balance for a split second. Ball's in position. From here now, I'm going to reach and explode out, hips low. So let's check that out. So I'm gonna do a foot replace, side step, and I'm into my stroke. So after you've done it a few times with the ball already in shooting position, and again, that's index or middle finger on the needle hole in triple threat, pocket it. All right, we can actually add a dribble now. So it's a little bit more game-like. So we're coming down, we're getting into a lunge. All right, we're gonna work both hands momentarily. So we're gonna foot replace, side step, and have our shot. So once we've done some reps of that, instead of just having it this inside dribble in the negative space, the empty space, put the dribble outside your body in the direction you're going. So now we're gonna foot replace, add that rip, we get set, and have our shot. So check out a couple reps. Okay, other foot. So just like we did everything, we wanna be able to do this off both feet. So we go back, start from the other position, left foot, we're now shooting this way. So we're hold the ball, foot replace, reach out, and have our shot. Once we're comfortable with that, we add the inside pocket dribble. And we're into it. The next evolution, very game-like now, is the ball is here. As I come into under my hip, I can step aside and I can get more space. Get that ball out. Okay, so now we're gonna look at short 1-2s. What we've looked at primarily before when we were playing out of that lunge step is the long 1-2. So look at the lines here to demonstrate. If my toes are here and I take a big step forward, that's a big lunge to that line. Now I'm in the lunge position. And for me to square up, I need to take another big step to come under my hip. So just a side view of the long 1-2, and I'm in this position, I'm stepping long. So that's how we were getting into that lunge position. And then for me to step forward, that's a lot of forward movement. It's a great option when the defender is behind you, off to the side, or you've got a lot of empty space in front. It's not always the case. Sometimes that's where your defender is. So we can get into the same footwork, but instead of these long 1-2s, which take away our separation, we can use the same thing with short 1-2s. 1-2. All we're doing is getting that comfortable rhythm and footwork, allows us to get our feet set and up into a great shot. And just to show you how short we're going, it's about a foot, because I don't want to be stepping into my defender. I want to maintain maximum separation while still getting feet set comfortably into a confident jumper. So this is a very tough set of footwork actually, because we've always been taught with these long 1-2s stepping into our shot. So this is going to really cause us to think a lot, and that's fine if it feels uncomfortable, but we know why we're doing it. We want to maintain separation, but be able to get into comfortable footwork, maybe even getting that defender to step back an extra step, or to heel lock and completely take themselves out of the play. So first one we do is, all I'm going to do is no dribbles. I'm going to step left, right, and up into my shot. So very simple to start. So now I'm going to do the opposite foot. So I'm a right-handed shooter. I'm now going to go right, left, but again, I'm using these chalk lines as my reference. So once I'm comfortable using the short 1-2 with both feet, let's add some dribbles coming in. So we're just going to add some stationary dribbles. The first one is going to be left foot with right hand dribble. So switch hands, left hand dribble, right foot step, and then I need to get it into my shooting hand as that's happening. So now I'm going to go right foot step with right hand dribble, left foot left hand. All right, so just taking this footwork to the next level, we can add a little bit of angle. So instead of just totally forward, we can try and jab to the side and get the defender to shift even a bit more. So as I dribble, I'm going to step away, look like I'm going to go there, and then I'm into my shot. Short 1-2. Same thing, I'm going to jab here as I dribble on the back foot, step under, and we're up with that short 1-2 move still. All right, so we're going to finish with one really fun move, one of my favorites here, and it's going to be a cross jab. So we're going to start here on the right hip. As the left foot jabs, I'm going to put the ball down over my hip, and then I foot replace. So very short steps. I'm going to go short step with a dribble, and then another short one right here.